Hey, so I want to hear more about your new spider powers.
I think it's some kind of bioelectric discharge, or supercharged static electricity.
Ooh, we gotta name it. How about venom power? You know, because it stings?
Venom power? Because it stings? What? Calling electric powers venom is like me saying that urine is made from fire because it burns while I... Oh, it's not supposed to feel that way? Oh. Anyway, you know what I mean. Hello there! Another Spider-Man, another review. Spider-Man Miles Morales is here on the PC, and let's see if the power of friendship truly can beat everything, as well as if the game is better or worse than its predecessor, and how does it perform on the PC. Also, I wanna say that I know that my reviews come later than the others, but since I can't get to the games sooner than release day, as well as having a policy of playing through the whole game before reviewing it, I simply can't go faster than this. Hopefully, this changes in time, but for now, it's the best I can do without compromising the integrity of my reviews, so let's get into it. The good. The combat feels like an upgrade to the original in some ways, most notably when it comes to stealth. While in the original Spider-Man, you couldn't do stealth takedowns while hanging on a wall or a ceiling, now you can, which means a lot for that particular playstyle, as you are no longer limited to just hanging enemies from ledges. I mainly play games trying to be stealthy, so this was greatly appreciated. Miles' abilities are certainly different than Peter's, which also provides us with some refreshment in combat, most notably Miles' Venom or bioelectric powers. When stealth is not an option, which sometimes happens to me, the combat feels just as satisfying due to its high-speed action and easy combo input. You feel like a superhero, which in a superhero game is to be expected. Many times I found myself doing side content for no other reason but to do it. Whenever a crime would occur, I'd rush in to do battle, even though there was no incentive for me to do so anymore. Why? Because the combat in itself was rewarding and felt really cool. This is one of the elements which, when combined with sound, music, the story, voice acting, makes a great game. You just wanna play it for the sake of playing it. New Game Plus doesn't hurt either. I really don't get why more game developers don't put in the option these days, since if your game is great, I'll sure as hell be replaying it. Looking at you, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Even though Valhalla was the lesser of the 3 latest Assassin's Creed games. But that's a story for a whole different video. Even the challenges were improved when compared to the previous title. In the original Spider-Man, the challenges would sometimes feel tiresome, sometimes because of the difficulty and other times because of the sheer amount of them. In Miles Morales, they feel more thought out, and you even get a neat bonus challenge after completing all the previous one. Boss fight ahead! The story is definitely very well done. We go on a journey with Miles as he tries to fill the shoes of Peter Parker and become as good or better than Peter is. On this journey, Miles will have to wrestle with some complicated issues like betrayal and dealing with loss, as well as old and new enemies, including J. Jonah Jameson, who will not stop at anything until he sees that menace run out of town. But seriously, I really have to say that I enjoyed both the podcasts from J. Jonah Jameson and Danica, because it was a great idea from the developers to keep you entertained while you swing around New York City. And, of course, if you find J. Jonah Jameson or Danica annoying, you can turn them off in the option settings, which is also awesome, I guess, but I had no use of that. I found that I mostly stopped playing because I wanted to hear what they had to say. Most of their dialogues or monologues were quite funny. I won't go into details about the story, since maybe there is somebody out there who, like me, only got to experience the story and the game when they were released on PC. But even though I quite liked the story of Spider-Man, I preferred the story in Miles Morales. Why? Because most of the times in Spider-Man it felt like you were much more alone than in Miles Morales, which I get why they did it. I just preferred the more nurturing setting that Miles has going on, which I think Peter would agree with. It is the better environment to live in. And I guess, like in every family, there is always a certain degree of dysfunctionality. Like, for example, Miles does have a funny uncle, but in a very different sense, which is kind of good, I guess. Along Miles' journey, we will meet some new interesting characters, some members of the family, who will be very important to the story as we go along. When it came to the final boss battle, at times this one felt like something pulled straight out of Devil May Cry, and story-wise it was very emotionally impactful. Either that, or I'm just a big old softie. I'm not crying, I just have something stuck in my eye, and my heart. Oh, it's a knife. Either way, it got to me a bit. And last but not the least, the outfits. Oh man, the outfits in Spider-Man were cool, but some of these are something else entirely. There are less options, but they are really well done. The programmable matter suit certainly felt unique and stood out, but nothing beats the awesome, the legendary, the ultimate Cat Spider-Man outfit. I swear I'm never taking this thing off, I'll be using it exclusively. Having my cat friend ride along with me was just the thing I needed, because after beating everybody into the ground, nothing makes you relax more than going, "Who's a good girl?" or "Who's a good boy?" And since it's a cat and not a dog, it will just go on ignoring you and playing with itself or falling asleep. I mean, you know cats. Oh, and what's this? There's a crime in progress. Well, I don't mind, because I have my cat friend with me and everything is just fine. I'm just content to exist the way I am and let nature take its course. So, now for the bad. Sometimes Miles would casually stroll off of a ledge when he wasn't meant to, but that's it. I did miss having the laser trip mines from the previous game, just something that would have been nice to have, but certainly there were other cool skills to use and abuse. Like the various Venom powers, or electric powers if you actually want to be accurate. But that's just me nitpicking. I mean, call them what you will, they certainly feel and are cool. And now we come to the ugly. Sadly, I have to say that I had 2 crashes during a whole playthrough, but that was mostly it. In New Game Plus, I was locked into combat with Rhino in the first mission for about 10 minutes before I realized that I was locked into combat forever, eternity, all time, non-stop, Rhino and me, or at least until he beat my ass. So then I restarted the game, because the cutscene wouldn't trigger in order to progress the mission. Everything was fine after that. And now introducing a whole new category, the would have been nice. This is a new category where I just put out a list of suggestions or things I personally think would have made for even more fun, or would have made the game feel cooler or give us more things to do, and so on. So this is not me pointing out something that was done bad, just some things that I would like to have seen. For example, in New Game Plus, they could have added Peter's powers as well, as a kind of a special reward or a thank you for playing through the whole game and giving us an option to experience the game by using different abilities from Miles's. The same thing was done in Dishonored 2, where once you played through the whole game, no matter which character you picked for a second playthrough, you'd get to use the powers of both characters. It would also have been great if the game was longer, but I feel that quality trumps quantity, so this is not a big issue. I feel like I got my money's worth out of the game. Maybe it would have been also cool if we could play as different characters in the game, like the Prowler or the Tinkerer or somebody else, maybe Catgirl, I don't know. But I do realize that there is only so much a developer can do with the allotted budget and time. It's just something to think about in the future. If Sony ever watches this, I don't know. Maybe Sony is a subscriber. Yeah, sure. And for the conclusion. As I stated in the beginning, another Spider-Man, another awesome game. Be it the story, the graphics, the gameplay, the music, it's all pretty damn good. I think it's safe to say that Spider-Man Miles Morales is a work of art, just like its predecessor. I would definitely recommend buying the game or going back in time and getting a PlayStation and then getting the game. Either way, it was great fun playing. I give the game a 9,250 out of 10,000. With the game crashes hurting the score the most, and various little glitches and bugs here and there, but nothing too serious. So just get the game, have fun, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!